Hello everyone, so this week's assembly forms part of a larger topic regarding road safety, not just aiming at keeping you safe, but also the way in which you conduct yourselves around the local community, the appropriateness of your own behaviour and actions. Now today is a specific focus on the importance of wearing a cycle helmet, not just on a bike, but a skateboard, a scooter, whatever you choose to use. Now you may be thinking that I know everything there is to know about wearing a cycle helmet and it's my choice. Well, you're right, it is your choice. But your choice that you make also affects other people, particularly if you're involved in an accident. Now, those of you who know me know that I am a dead keen mountain biker, not just trails and cross-country riding, but many big jumps and berms and gaps and all those sorts of things. If I wasn't wearing protective clothing and I had a fall, would put me potentially in hospital without a doubt. And it has happened many times, but my cycle helmet has saved my life. It's interesting that any event that I have attended, be it taking part or watching, you will never find a professional without wearing a properly fitted and pretty cool looking cycle helmet. And some of you are asking yourselves, but I'm only cycling to the shop to get some milk. But I can assure you that it does not matter how slow or fast you're going, what terrain you're cycling on, it's the direction and impact on certain parts of your head that can have a detrimental impact on your brain. And remember, you're not just protecting yourself from your own mistakes, but more importantly, the mistakes that others make can affect you. Now, to show you how much we care about you and your brains, staff at CEC would like to offer you the following message.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, if and when inevitably you do fall off, it will waste the emergency services time if you have a more severe injury than you otherwise would if you're wearing a helmet.
I wear a cycle helmet because it protects my head if I fall off my bike.
Genuinely saves lives. Prior to being a teacher, I was a nurse for several years and I saw lots of head injuries when I was working in A&E. So folks, really just do what you need to do. Wear a helmet, stay safe. You're really important. Let's get everybody safe home into school, safe home every day and safe into school every day.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, I'm going to tell you a story about my dad, who was involved in a very, very serious cycling accident. He went into and through the window of the passenger front seat of the car, went through the car and out the other side, all through his head. And we have been told that if he had not worn a helmet, he would have died. He broke his spine. He's got significant issues ever since, but he's alive. Wear a helmet.
Hello! So it's important to wear a bike helmet because you never know what will happen on the road. Any of you who have seen me cycling will know that I wear an incredibly bright pink jacket, and yet somehow when I was coming up to a road, a van came round the corner and still almost took me off of the road, and I had to go up onto the side in order to not get run over. It's really important. You don't know who's out on the roads.
So why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, if you think about it, if you fall off, which I've done a couple of times on my mountain bike, you're going to bang your head. If you bang your head, you're going to get concussion. If you get concussion, you're going to need to go to hospital. As part of that, it's really important to protect yourself, services and other people.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, your head's the most important part of your body because it contains your brain and you have to look after your brain, so protect your head if you have an accident. Safe cycling.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? It is important to wear a cycle helmet for your safety, for everybody else's safety on the road. Wear a cycle helmet.
So why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? When I was young, I saw a car pull out in front of somebody about my age. I would have been about 12. They're on their bike, they had a cycle helmet on. They got knocked off their bike, they went on the front of the car, onto the floor. However, they were absolutely fine because they had their cycle helmet on. I've got no doubt that that person would have needed fairly decent medical treatment had they not had a cycle helmet on.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, when one of my cousins was younger, she actually fell off a bike and she hit her head on the curb Okay, you can imagine, very hard curb, head straight on it, but fortunately, she was wearing a helmet, so she was fine. Okay, so wearing a helmet is very important, because in some random scenario you don't know, it could save your life.
Hello. Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, we need to make sure that we keep ourselves safe when we're on the road. Sometimes we can't predict what other road users might do, and therefore we need to make sure that we are prepared for anything. We need to keep ourselves safe just in case of any accidental wobbles or any wobbles caused by any other road users.
Why is it important to wear a cycling helmet? Well, it's to protect yourself and other people around you. All right?
Hello. Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, they're really important because they make sure that they keep your best asset safe, your brain. When I was younger, I had an accident on my bike. I came off and my cycle helmet split in two. I was really lucky because if I wasn't wearing a cycle helmet, that would have been my head and I would have been significantly damaged. It's really important that you ensure that you're savvy and wear your helmet when you're on a scooter or you're on a bike. Make the right choice.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, I wear my cycle helmet because what I wouldn't want to do is come off my bike. It protects my head and then therefore it protects my family from feeling affected by me being hurt in a cycle crash. So that's why I wear my cycle helmet.
So why is it cool to wear a cycle helmet? It's not about looking uncool, it's about staying alive.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? It's important to wear a cycle helmet because it can save your life and because it can save you from potentially worse, actually, which is the fact that you may be severely disabled for the rest of your life if you sustain a head injury. My daughter's a nurse who works in an A&E department and she has seen so many serious injuries as a result of people not wearing cycle helmets, and she constantly tells me how important it is and how those lives could have been kept to be normal or in actual fact saved.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? It's important to wear a cycle helmet so you protect your most valuable resource.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, a cycle helmet will prevent 60% of head injuries, so be safe out there.
Okay, so why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Okay, I have a family member that fell off a skateboard, injured his head, had to go in a helicopter to Southampton, and we thought he had permanent brain damage. You can do exactly the same falling off a bicycle that you can do falling off a skateboard. Please wear your helmet.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? A cycle helmet will protect your brain from injury if you have an accident. And if you, say for instance, are on a motorbike, you have compulsorily to wear a motorcycle helmet. And if you're going at speed on a bicycle, the same thing should really apply. So it is very, very important to protect the most important part of your body, which is your brain. So please do wear a cycle helmet.
Hi guys, really important that you wear your cycling helmet. So I cycle to work a number of days a week and I always wear it. It's particularly important to protect that brain. Just a small injury on a curb without that helmet can be really serious, particularly if you haven't got much hair on top to protect your head. So get those cycle helmets on and wear them and stay safe.
Why it's important to wear a cycle helmet? When you're on the road, it doesn't matter how good at cycling you are, there's always other people on the road that can make mistakes.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? When I did Land's End John and Groats, and I was on my little scooter for 1,000 miles, I wore a helmet every single second of every single moment of that journey. And every time I fell off, I landed on my head, and I was always okay. Always wear a helmet, guys, please.
Why is it important to wear a safety helmet when you're cycling? One of my friends is only here today because when he was in middle school, when I was younger, he was a good cyclist, but he made a mistake and he got dragged under a lorry, and he's only here today because that helmet saved his life.
So, why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Personally, I can tell you a story that is a true story that happened a few years ago. I was walking down Woodvale Road, near where the Woodvale pub is. There was a car coming along and I saw a young boy on his bike without a helmet on, zooming down Woodvale Road, didn't look, and a car had hit him. Luckily, the car wasn't going very fast. The whole window was caved in. Obviously, for me to witness it was really shocking. The ambulance came. I actually don't know the outcome because obviously I didn't know the boy. Hopefully everything was okay for him. But if he had been wearing a helmet, I'm sure that he probably would have got up and walked off rather than having to be picked up by an ambulance. So it's so important to wear a cycle helmet. If I ride a bike, I'll wear one. I always say to my children, you're not going out on your bike unless you're wearing a helmet. You are so precious, and your head is so precious, and your brain is so precious. You need to look after yourself.
Why is wearing a helmet important when cycling? It keeps us safe. I do a lot of road cycling, and I do not know how road users will be in their cars. I don't know whether it's going to be icy on the road, and ultimately wearing a helmet will protect your head and potentially save your life.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, you know that on the roads, if you're cycling around, cars are very unpredictable. People driving, you don't know what they're going to be doing. Distractions happen all the time. It's not just about your proficiency on a bike, it's being safe when everything else going on around you. If you fall off and you hit your head, there are so many medical problems that can happen. Your head is so vulnerable, you need to protect it in any way that you can. You need to protect everything going on in there. Your brain is very important, both to us and to you. We need to make sure that you're safe. We don't know what can happen. Cycle lane, moving along, a little child walks out in front of you, you don't want to hit them, you fall off and hit your head, anything can happen. Make sure you're safe.
So, why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, you need to look after yourself because you never know who's on the road and what accidents could potentially be around the corner. Give yourself a chance, wear a cycle helmet, keep yourself and others safe.
Why it's important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, a cycle helmet protects your head and it protects your brain, and you will all need your brain to enable you to get amazing GCSE results to have a good and promising future.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, I think it's really important because no matter what speed you're going at, it's really, really dangerous if you get into an accident. For example, one of my friends, she was cycling down a hill and lost control and ended up crashing into someone's house. Now, the fact that she was wearing a cycling helmet saved her life. Any injury that can cause to your brain can be really, really detrimental. It can cause long-term effects, long-term suffering, long-term illness. So it's better just to be safe than sorry.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, you could be the most skilled cyclist or scooterist on the road, and it's still not your fault if someone else on the road is not being as responsible. So it's down to other road users, not just yourself, and it is very, very important to be wearing your cycle helmet so that you are preventing yourself from injury and your family and friends from heartache. Thank you.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? You need to wear a helmet to protect yourself from serious injury. Other road users can be dangerous, don't always follow the rules, and you need to look after yourself. When I had an accident and fell off a bike many years ago now, I broke my collarbone, but I was safe and I managed to save myself from significant injury because I was wearing a helmet.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Think about your poor parents having to welcome you home from hospital after a severe injury.
Good morning. From a science teacher's point of view, I'd just like to quickly talk to you about why it is so absolutely important that you wear a crash helmet. In many ways, it's the same reason that we wear a seatbelt and that we have airbags in vehicles. It's to do with something that we call change of momentum. What it actually means is that if something is going to happen, the longer time that we have to spread the effect of the force over, we are likely to be injured to a lesser degree. Let's put that into everyday English, forgetting science teacher for a minute. If you wear a crash helmet, there's a cushioning to spread the time over which the force acts. We want all our students at this academy to come and see us every single day. We don't want to be visiting you in hospital with injuries. If you go out on the road without a crash helmet, you are taking risks that we don't want you to take. Thank you.
Why is it important to wear a cycling helmet? Well, for starters, so that you don't get life-threatening injury, and also because there's some dangerous drivers on the road, and if you get caught by one of those, you're probably not going to survive. So just pop your helmet on. It makes life so much easier.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? It's important to wear a cycling helmet because if you fall off your bike and hit your head and you're not wearing a cycling helmet, you could very seriously damage your brain.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Because no matter how good or how safe you are, there is always the other road users and you can't always trust them.
So why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, as a triathlete, we get checked if we wear our helmets. So you enter transition and you have to have your helmet properly fitting, attached underneath. In the professional world of sport, I'm not saying any of you are all professionals, but in the professional world of sport, it's really important to have properly fitting kit so you don't do damage when you're racing to yourself or to any other competitors.
Why is it always important to wear a cycle helmet when you're out on your bike? It's vitally important that you always wear your cycle helmet when riding your bike because a cycle helmet can dramatically reduce the risk of serious injury if you fall off your bike. And no matter how good you think you are on your bike, there's always a risk that you're going to fall off, and a cycle helmet can really help to prevent serious injury.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Before this job, I did 15 years in the fire service, and we went to several incidents where cyclists had come off. The worst one I saw was where a young lady had come off. She had the cycle helmet, but she had it hanging off of her handlebars instead of on her head. She didn't come off very well. She made a recovery, but not fully. So if you think it's not cool to wear a helmet, or you think they don't look cool, there's so many out there now. If you get one, you can still look cool, but make sure you wear it and not be vain and have it hanging off the handlebars, because if you do come off, it's just not worth it. So there you go. That's why you should wear a cycle helmet.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Because if you don't and you fall off, your head will crack, your brains will spill on the road, and you could die. And nobody wants that. Very important, wear one.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? To keep your head safe in case you fall off your bike, which does happen a lot.
Why is it important to wear a cycling helmet? Well, first of all, your head is where your brain is, and what's more important than your brain, your body, not much else really. So the importance of wearing that is protect your head. Now, if a lot of you fall off your cycle, they need to make sure your head is protected. Protect that brain of yours and keep yourself safe whilst on the road, please.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Because your mum and dad made you, and they think you're really, really precious, and you should think you're really, really precious too, and you really don't want to injure your head.
Why is it important to ride bike helmet? When I was 14, I had a friend waiting on his bike at the traffic lights, and a van came and the wing mirror knocked the side of his head. Sadly, he was never the same again. So if he was wearing a bike helmet, that he would be back in school with us, and that was my reason.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Quite simply, it can save your life.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? You could be the most skilled cyclist in the world, and you could still fall, and you could really hurt yourself. So it's super important to wear a cycle helmet. And it's not about looking cool, it's about being safe. However, that being said, there's a lot of cool cycle helmets that you can wear.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, there are all sorts of reasons, but first of all, I want to stress this to you. Some of you might not wear them because you don't think it's cool, or you think maybe it's going to ruin your hair that you've spent ages doing that morning. I'm going to tell you that actually it's much more important to protect your brain and to protect your life than it is to protect your hair. So next time you're thinking maybe I won't wear one, make sure that you do, okay? It's cool to be alive and it's cool to be cycling safely to school. All right, take care.
Why is it important to wear a cycle helmet? Well, it doesn't matter whether you're riding a bike, a scooter, it doesn't matter. You have to keep yourself safe. The brain is the most important part of your body. So don't worry about looking cool, just wear a helmet because you don't want to pay for someone else's actions on the road when you're out.
As you can see, all of the staff at CEC are absolutely passionate about this topic and about your personal safety. We do not want to see another accident, another incident. Put a cycle helmet on, please. You are the people who really care about. Let's make CEC a school that educates other pupils on this incredibly important topic and subject. Please, 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 take note of what everybody has just said to you. I do not want to see another person cycling to school with a helmet on their handlebars or hanging from their rucksack. You've heard it from so many people now. Please, please, please put it on your head. Thank you.